Next for us is a very important condition in ophthalmology and in lens. We'll be talking about ectopia lentis. So, friends, what do you mean by the term ectopia? We have discussed earlier also ectopic, somewhere else, not in the normal place. So, lentis means lens. So, this is the condition where I can say the lens is displaced simply. Can I say there is a displacement of lens? Isn't it? Now, this is a very famous picture question. The moment I give you this picture and I ask you which syndrome, everyone, I'm sure you will be telling that this is Marfan syndrome, isn't it? So, it is a picture question also. I'm sure everybody can make out that we have the edge of this lens here. Yes, the edge of the lens is normally not seen in the pupillary area. So, once you see the edge of the lens, it simply means that there is a subluxation, right, everyone? Now, there are two terms, subluxation and dislocation. Subluxation means that lens is displaced, but some part of the lens is still there. Some part of the lens is still there in the pupillary area. Okay. So you can see some part of the lens, it is still present inside the pupillary area. We can see some part of the lens. What about dislocation? It is total displacement. Maybe it is gone into the vitreous cavity. Maybe it is coming into the anterior chamber, but this is not present in its normal position, and it is a displacement which is called as a complete displacement or complete dislocation. Okay, friends. So there are two different terms. Now, my question to you. What do you think is the most common cause of this subluxation? So, can I say trauma? There is a trauma, and because of that, there is an injury to the zonules. Yes, when the poor zonules are there, the weak zonules, the traumatized zonules are there, they're not able to hold the lens. So, the good zonules can pull the lens their way, isn't it? So, if I show you this picture again and I ask you where are the zonules weaken, can I say zonules are weaker in the inferior part? That's why good zonules are pulling the lens towards them. Okay, so this is a question. Can I say trauma is the most common cause of subluxation? Right. Now, there is a very famous question, a very famous term. What is ectopia lentis et pupillae? So remember, guys, this is a congenital condition. There is a congenital subluxation or a congenital displacement of the lens where the lens is going opposite to the pupil, where the pupil moves. Now you will say, ma'am, pupil doesn't move. Yes, but see this picture, you will able to identify yourself. Can you see there is a pupillary notching? Isn't it? The pupil is gone supratemporally. Yes. So this is your pupillary notch. And can you also see the edge of the lens? This is the edge of the lens. Yes. So the lens is on this side and pupil is going to this side. So there is a difference, or you can say opposite pupil and the lens. So this is called as ectopia lentis et pupillae. Pupil and lens are on the opposite side. Okay, friends, it is not a very common condition, but congenital subluxation of the lens. Now, friends, after that, I am more interested in telling you the causes of spontaneous subluxation. I hope you understand what is the term spontaneous. Spontaneous means there is no trauma. Lens is spontaneously going somewhere. Okay, so what are the causes? Let us first understand why the lens is spontaneously dislocated. Can I say there is some problem in the zonules? Obviously, somewhere the zonules are weak. That's why there is a spontaneous subluxation. So, this can be very easily learned with a mnemonic. That's a Hindi mnemonic, guys. If you can manage with that, below poverty line may hum subluxate हुए. So, this is related to subluxation, that I have gone so poor below poverty line and I subluxated. So, if you can remember this much, good enough. If you can't, you have to remember at least this. So you will say, ma'am, you are marking the entire thing. Yes, I am. Okay. So every word is a question here. Ophthalmos, we will read in congenital glaucoma why and how. Pseudo exfoliation is a question itself. Marfan syndrome and Marchansoni, very, very important syndrome. So is Ehlers-Danlos and homocystinuria. Because all three of them, these three are disorders where you have problems in the collagen, and problems in the collagen will lead to the problems in the zonules. So there can be spontaneous subluxation. So you have to understand the topic and then you can answer it very easily. So HMSC, which type of HMSC? We have read earlier the sclerotic type of HMSC, you can have subluxation without trauma, isn't it? So these are very, very important cause. Now, some more important causes, some more important questions. So subluxation, as I told you, is seen in Marfan syndrome. Characteristically, we have a superotemporal subluxation. Very easy mnemonic. Fan कहाँ होता है? Where is the fan? ऊपर है ना, fan ऊपर. So this is how your lens subluxates, superotemporal. Now can I say the zonules are weak here? So you can you can be asked the question in a twisted form. Most common location of zonular weakness in Marfans. So don't answer it is supratemporal. The zonules will be weakened on the opposite quadrant, isn't it? Now this doesn't mean that always it is supratemporal. You can have any type of subluxation, but supratemporal is the most common subluxation. So every word is a question again. Now friends, nobody asks you where do you see supratemporal subluxation, answer in Marfans. They'll give you a case-based scenario. What is the case? A young man coming to you with a heart defects, Marfans may have regurgitations, aortic, mitral, है ना? Patient is having long stature and there's a mutation in fibrin gene. So you can have a case-based scenario and suddenly there is a problem in the vision. So understand what is the problem in the vision. Do you think they'll come to you with a loss of vision? No. They will come to you with a diplopia. Diplopia, isn't it a uniocular diplopia? Two images will be formed, one from the area which is phakic, having a lens. The other image will be formed which is aphakic. We don't have a lens here. So can I say the patient will have a complaint of diplopia? This is very, very, very important. Okay. Now, what are the other ocular features? We can, have a case-based question here. We have here, very, very important. The most common feature is subluxation. The second one is cornea plana. You have a large cornea, but it is a plain cornea. Similarly, you have a myopic eye. Okay, the refractive error, long eyeball, myopia. And have a subluxation of the lens with myopia. There is a chances of retinal degenerations and retinal detachments also. Okay, the patient may have a poor vision and a poor pupillary dilatation also. Okay, so these are the other ocular findings which makes it a very, very, very important expected question. Now, very similar to Marfan's because we have a subluxation and we have a Marfanoid habitus. So here also our patient is tall, having a thin veil, resemble Marfanoid habitus, but here the kind of displacement is inferior. Okay, very easy word, urine. Urine, niche. Urine, down. So lens is also going down. Okay. Now what is the problem? I hope you know that this is not a very common disorder. It has autosomal recessive inheritance and patient has a very high level of homocysteine in the body and in the urine. Why? Because of the deficiency of this enzyme, cystathione beta synthase. Okay. Very frequently we have questions from this topic. Now how does the patient presents? I hope you know there is a diplopia. Yes, there is a diplopia. But what is the systemic finding? Systemic finding is the patient will have intravascular thrombosis, intellectual ability, and patient may have mental retard with seizures also. Okay, remember. So ocular features will be mostly it is infranasal subluxation. Okay, very, very important. Remember this question. Now the next one is my favorite. What is Weil-Marchesani syndrome? So remember friends, this is another very important syndrome where we have a anterior subluxation of lens. Very, very important. Now anterior subluxation is that from the posterior chamber it comes into the anterior chamber. Have a look at the picture. The whole of the lens has come out into the anterior chamber. Now let us understand why this is happening. So friends, our child is having a short stature. He has brachydactyly, very thin skin. Can you see? The child may also have mental retardation. There is a chance of cardiac anomalies also with the thick skin. Okay. So every word is a question. This is how you remember that what is the presentation of the child here. Okay. Chota, mota, chubby, you can say. All right. So this type of child, if he comes to you with the problems in vision, see the lens on slit lamp examination. Now, why the lens is subluxated? Because these children do not have a normal eye. They have micro Spherophakia. Now, what do you understand by microspherophakia? Micro means small, sphero means spherical. So, the lens is not this, lens is actually this, a smaller and a spherical lens. Now, what do you expect will happen with the zonules? Zonules, can I say, there'll be long zonules which are weak, right? So, the moment you dilate the pupil, what will happen? Suppose I want to examine this patient, I dilate the pupil will be dilated because of the long and the weak zonules. The lens is actually coming out into the anterior chamber. Right, everyone? Now, another important question. So, this is one condition which is dealing with inverse type of glaucoma. So, what is inverse glaucoma? Normally, we have read that if the pupil is blocked, we have a treatment with the help of pilocarpine, and mydriatics will aggravate the block. But what is happening here? Ulta, opposite. Actually, this is exacerbated by miotics and relieved by mydriatics. Have you seen it anywhere else? No. Inverse glaucoma is this. Now let us understand the rationale. Why it is improved by atropine, why it is deteriorated by pilocarpine. So I hope you remember pilocarpine is one drug which causes ciliary muscle contraction, right? And it will actually bring the iris lens diaphragm further anterior, isn't it? So pilocarpine will bring the lens iris diaphragm further. So it is going to aggravate the pupillary block actually. Now what happens once you give atropine? Atropine will relax the ciliary muscle and it will bring back the iris lens diaphragm. So it is kind of relieving the attack here. So this is a very, very important statement, guys. Please remember anterior subluxation of lens is seen in Weil-Marchesani syndrome where the child is having these features. Very easy mnemonic march. We are marching forward. So that is why the subluxation is also forward. So this was a very, very important topic about subluxation and dislocation of lens.